Good morning, friends. Friends, I am your assistant teacher, Mr. Swain. Welcome you to the GYANJYOTI online classes. Students, today we will continue the section Geography, and the name of the chapter is Students, Human, Environment, Settlement, Transport and Communication. Students, today we will read about different types of transport. It may be air, railways, land. So every type of transport we will study, and communication, how we move from one place to another, how different people come from other region to this region. And next, students, the first topic here is settlement. What type of settlements are seen? Is it rural? Is it urban? So what type of settlements are there? So we will study about it. Students, the chapter number is 7. Students, we all remember that early humans lived in trees and caves. Students, it's true that they don't have their houses like Paka houses like ours. At the same time, they were hunters and gatherers because students, they didn't have the cooked food. So they, what they hunted, they ate it, and they were nomads. Students, because they moved from one place to another in search of food and shelter. Once the food in a particular area ended, they moved to different places. Therefore, they are called the nomads because they moved from one place to another in search of food and shelter. When they learned to grow crops, it became necessary for them to settle down in a single place to have a permanent home because they learned how to grow crops and how to do their agriculture and cultivation activities. They began to build houses and the settlements grew near the river valleys. Because students, you know, the earliest civilizations of the whole world, they were made near the river valleys because of the fertile land, because of the availability of water, because of moving from one place to another in a river also they moved from one place to another. As the humans got into trade, commerce and manufacturing, the human settlements started getting bigger and bigger near the river valleys. Settlement students flourished and civilizations developed on a large number near the river valleys. Indus Valley civilization is one of the best examples. Students, you know, Indus Valley civilization is our country's civilization, which is one of the best examples of civilization. We can live in houses, and a cluster of houses is called a settlement. Students, a cluster of houses means a group of houses in a particular area. We can say in colony, but in terms of geography, it is called a settlement. A cluster of houses may be small. There may be 10 huts or 20 houses. And you may call it a village, and there may be hundreds of thousands of houses, as you see in a city or town. Thus, a settlement is a habitat of human population which continues to grow in time and space. Students, what is settlement? It is a habitat of human population which continues to grow in time and space. So, students, what are the different types of settlement? Well, the first subtopic here is the classification of settlement. Classification of settlement. So, what are they? The first one is, students, temporary settlement. Second one is permanent. Two types of settlement can be seen in our country. The settlements which are occupied for a short time, it is very common, students. What do you mean by temporary? Not permanent. So students, which are occupied for a short term, it is called temporary settlement. Next students, generally tribal people and the nomads, they have such type of settlement because they move from one place to another. In case of permanent settlement, students, dwellers build houses to live in a particular city and they remain there for a long period of time. Like our students, that is called a permanent settlement because they only make our houses, pakka houses, to live in a particular city, in a town, in a village. Similarly, on the basis of occupation and population size, settlements are generally classified into rural and urban areas. A rural settlement, students, largely depends on agriculture and is called and is largely depend on agriculture and its allied activities, means related to agriculture, cultivation, cattle rearing, etc. etc. It has a few houses, no plant streets and agricultural fields. Most people in villages are engaged in agriculture, dairying, product making dairying, milching cows. They kept in one place. They buy and sell different dairy products. Fishing activities and animal rearing, cattle rearing, you can say. On the other hand, an urban settlement is one in which most people are involved in non-agricultural activities such as industries, trade, commerce, administration and services like transport and communication, education, health, etc. etc. So this type of occupations you can see in urban settlements or the permanent settlements. Students, both the classes of settlement, that is the urban and rural, may be compact, nucleated or dispersed, scattered settlements because they don't have any particular planned areas. Students will read types of rural settlement. In the next subtopic is the types of rural settlement. Students, as you know that there are two types of main settlements. The first one is the urban and the second one is, students, the rural settlements. Students, now we will study about the rural settlements in detail, the types of rural settlements. So what are the different types of rural settlement? We'll study one by one, students. Let me write that all the patterns. The first one is, students, linear pattern. The second one is, students, the circular pattern. Then, students, the third one is the star-like pattern. The fourth one is compact or nucleated settlement. Fifth one is the dispersed and scattered settlement. Students, we will study one by one. The first one is linear pattern. So what is the type of settlement here? In the linear pattern, students, what happens? It is a design of settlement in which houses are located along a road, railway line, river or along the edge of a valley, especially in the mountainous areas. Students, what happens? If you see a town which is situated along the roads, along the railway lines, this is one type of linear pattern. So, I will make it diagram. If if this is a road and if these are houses along the road, And suppose a river flows from here. Friends, it doesn't flow over the river, there may be a bridge here. I'm just making, if this is a river, just imagine. So this type of settlement is known as linear pattern of settlement. Okay students, then students will move to the next one, that is the circular pattern. So what is the circular pattern? The second type of rural settlement is the circular pattern. Students, what happens in a circular pattern? A circular pattern develops around a lake, especially a lake, a pond or tank. Fishermen and the salt producers, they particularly live in this type of circular pattern of settlement. They develop the villages along the lagoons and salt lakes. Students, do you know the meaning of lagoons? Lagoons are salt water lakes. Similarly, a village tank providing water and material for building becomes a central place around which houses are constructed. Sometimes semicircular patterns develop along the meanders or rivers, as seen along the Hindon River in Uttar Pradesh. So students, what happens? Particularly, students, just look, if this is a pond, if this is a pond, first look, if this is a pond and if this is the look, these are some of the roads connecting the ponds. If these are the roads, if this is the pond, students, then what happens? If let me write here, small settlements along the ponds, this type of settlement, students, is known as the circular pattern of settlement. Okay students, then we will move to the next pattern of settlement is star-like pattern. Star-like pattern. Students, what happens in star? Star means, you know, maybe there will be a center and there will be 4 to 5 corners. The star-like pattern develops on the sides and places where several metalled and unmetalled roads converge. The houses spread along the sides of the road in all directions. Like students, if this is the center, if this is a road, there may be some straight roads, there may be some bad roads, there may be curvy roads, and if there are some settlements here alongside the roads, just look students, this type of settlement on the roads. And this is a star-like pattern. Okay, then students will move to the next type of settlement, that is nucleated settlement. Friends, what do you mean by compact or nucleated settlement? These settlements are those in which a large number of houses are built close to each other around a center or nucleus. The people are closely associated with one another. These settlements are generally found in the plains or along the water bodies, such as rivers and lakes. Villages of the Ganga Valley present a good example of the compact settlement. Students, the next is compact or nucleated settlement. If this type of roads are there, students, and if you find settlements down here along the roads, students, they usually build houses near the road. This type of settlement is known as, students, compact or nucleated settlement. Okay, then students, we will move to the last one. This was the fourth one. Fifth one we will write dispersed or scattered settlement. Students, let me write. Scattered settlement. Dispersed or scattered settlement. Students, what do you mean by word? Scattered means bikra hua. Scattered means it is bikra hua. So in this settlement, students, houses are spaced far apart and often interspread with each other in the different fields. They are generally found in the areas of extreme climate, hilly regions, thick forests, desert regions of Rajasthan, forest land of Northeast India, and etc. etc. Students, so you just can imagine it may be like this. So maybe what will be like this. So one family may be staying there, one family may be here, second one here, the third one here. So this type of settlement, students, not along the road. It's not necessary to live along the road, but not far away from each other. That is called the scattered settlement. Okay. Students, the next subtopic of this chapter is, students, transport after settlement. We have studied about settlement, different types of settlement. Now we will study about transport. Students, what do you mean by transport? Can we imagine what life would have been if there would be no motor cars, no aeroplanes, no trains? How will you move from one place to another? Long back, people moved from one place to another either by walking, riding horses, camels, or donkeys. The invention of wheel changed all this. The mode of transport changed with the invention of the wheel. Over the time, different means of transport developed and made travel faster and comfortable. But even today, people use animals for transport. Donkeys, mules, bullocks, camels, horses are common in our country. Students, in the Andes Mountains of South America, llamas are used the same way as yaks are used in Tibet. Students, they all are used for transportation of goods. Of human beings also, we also move from one place to another by using camels in desert regions, and Tonga students they use horses as a mode of transport. The early traders from other countries took either sea route or land land route to reach India. They were moving either in boats or ships they make of their own. The advent of mechanical modernized transport has made travel faster. The journey from Delhi to Guwahati, which take months earlier and be done in 40 hours by train. Just look friends, 40 hours it takes. 40 hours means near about 2 days from Delhi to Guwahati. It takes 2.5 hours by air. Just imagine students, only 2.5 hours. If you start the journey at 9 am means 11:30 am you will be in Guwahati by air. So it is much more faster than railways. Students, the modern means of transport, they save our time and energy. Transport facilities are most developed between the urban centers. An efficient transport network connecting towns with factories and seaports contributes to economic development by ensuring easy movement of people, raw material and finished goods. Students, it's very important that if you want to set up a factory, you need raw materials. You need to bring it from the factories where raw materials are being made. You need to transport it. You need finished products to move from one place to another. Because of transport only, we can move from one place to another and also do our business very efficiently. Students, now we'll study the modes of transportation. So, what are transport? The modes of transportation. Students, what are they? First one is roadways, railways, waterways, fourth one is airways and air transport. Students, here, if you look the waterways, it contains not only journey by boats, ships, but by inland waterways also. Students, I will make you understand what are inland waterways, but in the topic we will study. Then only I can make you understand. Inland waterways. Fourth one is air transport. Students, this is the major modes of transport of our country. Now, students will study water transport one by one. The first one is, students, the roadways. You can find roadways, different types of road, pakka road, kacha road, concrete road in every part of our country. When we have to travel short distances, roads are the most convenient means of transportation. If you want to travel, students, a place which is 50 kilometers away from us, 10-20 kilometers, then we can move by road. Otherwise, we take train. They provide door-to-door services by carrying goods and services. Roads can be constructed on fairly steep slopes as well, connecting hilly and mountainous areas to the mainland, which is not possible with the railways. Airways also, it is not possible because there can't be any flat surfaces. They have to landing problem of the aeroplanes. They can be metalled, pakka roads as well as unmetalled, that is the kacha roads. You can find concrete road also. Highways also, they are being concreted. Many countries have developed highways. Highways are roads which join distant places, major places, big towns and cities, major metropolitan cities of the country. They are well surfaced and metalled roads, allowing high-speed traffic in both directions. Eastern USA and Western Europe have most dense network of highways in the world. In our countries also, students, we can find India has a well-developed network of national highways connecting all the major cities and state capitals. There are 4-lane, 6-lane, 8-lane expressways. Manali-Leh Highway, students, there is a name called the Manali-Leh Highway. Manali is situated in Himachal Pradesh and Leh in Jammu and Kashmir. Friends, this particular highway in the Himalayan mountain is one of the highest road in the world. Then national highways link major cities of the world with fast traffic. They can move easily. Some of them are expressways which are wide roads that allow fast and smooth traffic movement. Students, there is an example. The Mumbai-Pune Expressway is one of the most well-built concretized roads in India. Yamuna Expressway, students, there's a recently few years ago, Yamuna Expressway, which links Delhi to Agra, is another example. Roads have been built in harsh terrains like deserts, high mountains, and dense forests. Roads built on raised structures are called flyovers. Students, you know flyovers, over bridges. They are made to ease traffic, and they are high roads where railway tracks are there. They are being made. Then students, roads have also been built in harsh terrains. You can find flyovers in almost all Indian cities. Major cities and now small cities are connected with the flyovers. In recent years, construction has commenced on a nationwide system of multi-lane highways. Student, it means more than two highways, two lanes, including the Golden Quadrilateral super highways, which links Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai and Mumbai. It is a Golden Quadrilateral. It is a 6-lane super highway. It is also known as a super highway, also known as the expressway. In India, 3 different types of roads are found apart from the national highways. The roads which link the state capital with other important cities of the state, it is known as the state highways. These roads are maintained by the state government. For example, Lucknow Kanpur Road in Uttar Pradesh is a state highway. District roads, they link up the district headquarters with the important towns and villages of the districts. They are maintained by Jilla Parishads. The roads linking different villages with towns are called village roads. They are mostly unpaved roads and maintained by the Gram Panchayats. Students, there is a large network of highways in our country, and village roads are also there. Students, roads are the most common modes of transport. We can see in major cities, in small towns like us where we are staying, and in villages also. Students, a scheme, or you can say a plan was launched by the central government that is called the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. It means that every village in our country should be connected with good roads. It may be metal roads or concrete roads to the district's headquarters or to the main roads. Therefore, this scheme was launched by our former Prime Minister Mr. Vajpayee, that is the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. He introduced the Golden Quadrilateral highways, which connected all the 4 metropolitan cities in every direction of our country. It was a 6-lane super highway. Students, do you know why better communication is needed, as roads are an important factor? Specifically, we are talking about roads because, friends, if communication is not good, a country cannot develop. You can't move from one place to another. The products, the different factories, industries, and people like us, we all are dependent on roads. If the communication is not good, the country can't develop. Therefore, students, the state highways, district roads, village roads, what I have told you, they need to be developed. Due to the lack of good roads, people in the villages, in most of the remote areas, they don't have roads. They have to move by foot, in cycles. You have seen in most of the time in television, news channels, that how the medical facilities are not being available in villages. How the village people, they move by taking the patients from one place to another on foot or in bullock carts. So they face a lot of problems due to the non-availability of roads. You can't make medical centers, dispensaries in every remote villages, but if the roads are good, they can move easily. You can see many deaths are occurred due to the non-availability of roads. Good roads, surface roads are not there. The village people, they can't move from one place to another. Therefore students, good roads, all season roads are needed for the development of the country, because in the development of a country, communication is needed in a large quantity. Students, then you can see, I will make you see the network of highways given in your textbook. Then look, the major roads, these are the north, west and south corridors, this one, and these are the national highways, the pink color you can see, double line, that is the national highways. And students, this mark having part marks, like this is the golden quadrilateral which connects all the metropolitan cities of our country. So students, apart from railways, airways, waterways, roads is the most common, where you can reach from one place to another in a easy way. Railways can't reach the hilly areas, and you can't open airports in places like the hilly areas. So therefore road is the you can see the main criteria for communication in our country, in a country like ours or in every country. So students, today we will read this much, and we will read the second part of this chapter tomorrow or day after tomorrow, that is about railways, air transport and the sea roads. And the next subtopic is the communication part. We will read it in the next class. Students, for today I may say goodbye to all of you students. Please read carefully. Thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe.